everyone, this is Kassie, and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of September the 19th to September the 25th. If you'd like to have a personal tarot reading with me, you can always find me on my website www.kassikai.com, where you will always get 3 free minutes with your subscription and extra free minutes every month. You can check out last week's predictions on the link above, and if you enjoy my videos, make sure you subscribe, like and share, and hit the notifications bell so that you don't miss anything that comes up. Our deck for today is the Shadowscapes Tarot, a very nice and detailed tarot deck which combines Asian and Celtic elements. But let's get on with the predictions. For Aries, we had the Three of Cups, and this week it's the Seven of Pentacles. The Three of Cups is an energy of abundance, positivity, growth, usually shared with other people or with someone special in your life. So you must have experienced some very positive moments last week with someone or in a group of people. And there must have been progress and developments in your personal relationships. Also, maybe you had to attend a celebration, a ceremony, or a social event. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is an energy that you as an Aries may find it rather annoying, as the Seven of Pentacles basically represents patience and slow-moving energy. So this week will be a week of waiting, and you may not get the results you are waiting for just yet. That may cause some frustration or confusion, as direction may not be clear, and you won't even know if the moves you made in the previous weeks and the actions you took were in the right direction. If you want to know how someone feels about you, their feelings are getting stronger, although their pace will probably test your patience. Although it seems that they want a long-lasting relationship with you, there are practical issues that are holding them back, and this slowness may get on your nerves. However, they will not respond well if you try to pressure them. So one thing you can do at this stage is to give this relationship time to grow organically. The Seven of Pentacles is Saturn in Taurus, a very heavy placement that will bring some restrictions and limitations this week, and it could help if you reminded yourself that good things come to those who wait. Making impulsive moves will probably backfire, so trust that the universe has its own timing and its own plans for you, and things will happen when the time is right. Something that started between May the 11th and May the 20th will probably come to a halt this week, but keep in mind that although it may seem so, things won't be completely blocked, and in a week or so, things will start moving again. For Taurus, we had the Death and now the Eight of Wands. The Death you got last week represents an ending, and it can be a rather difficult energy if you know that you need to let go of something or someone, but you feel that you don't have the strength to do so. But in many cases, life will intervene and will manifest events and situations that will give you the chance to make adjustments to your course so that you have a more positive outcome. The Eight of Wands this week is a high energy card, and it brings surprises but also lightning speed developments. Expect that something will happen and will take you by surprise, and that could be an unexpected arrival or a departure, or it could mean that you will suddenly reach a goal you thought unattainable. You will have to think on your feet, to act fast if you want to keep up with the developments, and make sure that you go where energy takes you this week, as going against the tide will be extremely difficult and will cause strong resistance that can be either inner resistance and emotional struggle or outside resistance that comes from other people. If you really go with the flow this week, you'll see that things you want to do, things you want to get, will come to you with ease. If you want to know how someone feels, they feel strong attraction, sexual desire, warm and positive feelings. Wands are fire cards, and the feelings they represent are always intense. That means negative feelings can also be intensified. Remember, this is a fire card, and fire cards are high energy vibes. That means there's also a risk of heated conversations. If you feel that you are upset with someone, it's best that you give it some time and let this energy settle down before you talk to them. The Eight of Wands is Mercury in Sagittarius. You will talk about your future this week and you'll be making long-term plans. This is a good week to set high goals, but also to make plans about traveling, and it can also predict that you are going to move to a new house soon. Within 8 days, there will be fast and unexpected developments, and something you've been waiting for will manifest in a sudden and unexpected way. The end of the week seems to hold the strongest energy. For Gemini, we had the Sun, and now it's the Seven of Wands. The Sun must have been such a positive energy around you, as the life-giving energy of the Sun blesses everything it touches. So there must have been some very pleasant moments for you last week, pleasant vibes, and the Sun is healing energy too. So for some of you, the Sun must have manifested as healing, as improvement in health. The Seven of Wands this week suggests resistance and opposition. Someone or a group of people will have very different views from you, and there will probably be a disagreement or a contrast, and both of you will be stubborn and opinionated. Under this energy, you'll have to defend yourself in some way. Just make sure that you are not fighting imagined foes. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel a lot of passion, there's strong sexual desire, but there's also resistance. Now that could be because you got into an argument and you have different views and different expectations. And at the moment things are weird, but it can also be because there are people who are opposed to your relationship. Parents, for instance, and you have to constantly defend your relationship and your position. The Seven of Wands is Mars in Leo, very intense fire energies, so you will feel very energized this week and your body will get stronger. This is a good week to start working out or to resolve a health issue. Mars in Leo can be too much pride, and that can cause negative reactions to those who are recipients of that pride. If you want to persuade someone to do something and they're resisting, this isn't a good week to keep pushing, because you will probably experience even more resistance on their end. It's best that you give it a week or so and then resistance will start dropping. Between the 16th and the 25th August, something has happened and perhaps you felt like everyone was against you. This week you will probably have to experience similar energies, and perhaps you'll even have to fight with the same people you did back then. It's important that you know your position and whether something is worth fighting for. For Cancer, we had the King of Swords and now it's the Ace of Swords. The King of Swords is a male who's an air sign or ascendant, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and this person must have played a role in your life this week. The King of Swords is usually emotionally detached, sometimes because he has no feelings, but sometimes he's like that because he's controlling his feelings and he's trying to do the right thing. For that reason, he will do things that make him appear cold and aloof. You got another Swords card this week, the Ace of Swords, which means that the same energies will continue this week too. But what's good about the Ace of Swords is that it is a card of communication and solutions. So if communications were blocked for one reason or another, this week things will get better, and you may even be able to find a solution that will allow you to make a new beginning in a personal or professional relationship. You will get new ideas and clarity, and things that were confusing in the previous weeks will now make more sense, and you will know where you stand. So you will get great insight into a situation and you will cut right to the point. Your tongue will be strong, which means that there will be higher risk of arguments, but at the same time you will be able to express your thoughts very clearly, or another will give you explanations that clarify a situation. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they are thinking of you very intensely, and if this is a new relationship, they want to get to know you better. If it's an existing relationship, they feel that they need to give or get an explanation to you. So there might have been some sort of misunderstanding that you need to resolve. The strength of this relationship lies in the ability to talk and communicate clearly and honestly. The beginning of the week has the strongest energy, and that's when you will experience intense communications, messages, phone calls, so Monday and Tuesday will be quite interesting. For Leo, we had the Eight of Wands and now it's the Knight of Swords. Fast energies continue this week for you, Leo. You had the Eight of Wands last week, a high energy card, the card of action, fast developments, unexpected developments, so things must have been hectic last week, too many things to do at once, and there was fast movement and some unexpected events that took you by surprise. Now, this week with the King of Swords, there seems to be someone in your life, an air, sun or ascendant male, who will play a role in this week's energies. The King of Swords is someone whose primary concern is to do the right thing. He likes to do what is fair and what is logic, and for that reason you may find that they are putting their feelings aside and they appear very cold and distant. That doesn't mean they have no feelings, but in some cases they will try to control their feelings, especially if they sense that those feelings could get them in trouble in some way, or they could get in trouble someone they care for. If you are wondering how someone feels about you, they feel the need to be fair and honest with you. In that process, they may decide to take distance as they don't want to drag you into situations that would cause big problems in their life or in your life. This person must have been deeply hurt before, or a relationship got them in big trouble in the past. If you want a man of passion, a romantic man who will send you flowers and will remember your birthday, the King of Swords is not the man for you. The priorities of this man is far from romantic. That doesn't mean they are not capable of love, they are, but in their own way, in their own peculiar way. So what you need to decide is whether your needs and expectations are aligned, and whether you are a good match with him or not. Keep in mind that you cannot change him. He is who he is and he will continue to be that way. If you are dealing with legal matters, this week there will be good news, or you may have to get legal advice, especially if you feel that there's someone who's taking advantage of you at work or in a professional situation. This week you'll have to make a fair and honest decision with yourself, and that can get easier if you think about things logically without letting strong emotions cloud your view. You will have a very enlightening talk that will clear up the air around the confusing situation. For Virgo, we had the Four of Cups and now it's the Eight of Swords. The Four of Cups you got last week is a slow energy and often will cause delays that come from outside. For instance, other people are being slow and they are not doing what they should do, or it could be procrastination because the Four of Cups is a card of boredom. So perhaps you felt bored and apathetic last week and you didn't feel like doing much. And perhaps the same vibes will continue this week, as with the Eight of Swords, it feels that you are not yet snapping out of this vibe. The Eight of Swords shows that you may feel restricted or you'll have to overcome an obstacle. Now, in many cases, the Eight of Swords is often our own thoughts and negative feelings that make us feel blocked and trapped. So one thing you should do is to examine whether you are sabotaging yourself, limiting yourself in situations that will not work for you anymore. Keep in mind that you create your own circumstances with your words and your thoughts. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel there are too many obstacles and restrictions in your relationship. They are focused on the negative points of your connection at the moment, and things may be a little rocky. It appears that there are things that haven't been said, and there are misunderstandings and assumptions, as you haven't really discussed and you are not clear on each other's expectations. Also, there might be some communication issues this week that will bring some tension in a relationship. Interestingly enough, the Eight of Swords astrologically is Jupiter in Gemini, and this week you will be more inquisitive, more communicative, and hungry for new information. You may even learn a secret this week, but because the energy of Gemini is often vague and ambiguous, don't take action on what you learn unless you double check and confirm that it's true. The end of the week seems to be the strongest, while Thursday, the day of Jupiter, looks like an interesting day and you'll get the chance to liberate yourself from stressful situations. For Libra, we had the Page of Cups and now it's the Hierophant. The Page of Cups is a light, pleasant energy, it's messages, communication, but also romantic moves and gestures, so something nice must have happened last week, or a younger person required your attention. The Page of Cups is nice but immature, and maybe someone acted immature last week, but in a way that was cute and you didn't have the heart to judge them harshly. Now the Hierophant changes the vibe as he brings very different energy in your life. Under the energy of the Hierophant, things are getting serious. So if someone is overdoing it by acting immature, this week you'll take action so that they start behaving in a more mature way. Something may get official this week, and it's possible that you will make an agreement with someone, or you will sign a contract if you are talking about a professional situation or a real estate matter. Someone may come to you with a confession this week, or they will apologize for something they did or said, and they will ask for your forgiveness, or you will feel the need to apologize for something you said. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, their feelings are getting more serious, more stable and committed. The Hierophant is a card of committed relationships, and he often marks the beginning of a new and more official stage in a relationship. So you may decide to get engaged, married, or to move in with your partner. Now for some of you, the Hierophant will manifest as someone who's very traditional and strict and very possessive too. So this week you may have to deal with jealousy issues and you may have to draw some boundaries. The Hierophant is associated with Taurus and he may represent a Taurus sun or ascendant person in your life. Friday seems to be the strongest day of this week, as not only is associated with the number 5 that the Hierophant has, but also with Venus, who is the ruler of Taurus. For Scorpio we had the 3 of Swords and now it's the 4 of Swords. The 3 of Swords you got last week is a disruptive card that shows breakups, breaks, and generally difficulties that come with negative feelings, sadness and frustration. Perhaps you decided to take distance from a relationship that was too heavy on your heart and on your spirit, but at the same time a truth has come out and that must have been liberating as it allowed you to open new doors to explore new options. However, you may feel that you need some time before you are ready to make changes, and the 4 of Swords means that you will probably take a break to reflect and recoup. The 4 of Swords is a slow energy and you will need the time to rest and organize your thoughts. Communications will be slow and there might even be a break in communications. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel they need a downtime and for that reason they may get a little distant this week, especially if things have been really intense emotionally these days. That could make you feel that they are not interested, but that's not necessarily the case. The 4 of Swords is basically an emotional timeout and a need for a personal retreat to find peace and balance. That means this person will not appreciate it if you tried to force things between you. On the contrary, if you tried to pressure them in any way, they will get even more distant and stubborn. The 3 of Swords astrologically is Jupiter in Libra, and Jupiter is an expansive energy, while Libra seeks balance. So this week your main concern will be to stabilize and equalize your relationships and your communications, which means that the pause this card represents could be much needed, so that you reach a more balanced and a more positive stage in a relationship. Thursday seems to be the strong day of this week, while between 13 and 22 October you may decide to go to a retreat or to take holidays or even to take a break from the current energies and escape for a few days to recharge and restore your energy. For Sagittarius we had the Hierophant and now the Queen of Swords. The Hierophant is a serious energy that favors traditions, commitments and relationships, personal or professional, that are getting more official one way or another. The Hierophant can be a Taurus sun or ascendant person in your life who required your attention last week. Now you have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is usually air, so she can represent a Libra, Gemini or Aquarius sun or ascendant person with whom you will connect this week and you will have a very significant talk. There will be a great deal of communication around the relationship this week, and things that have been unclear will now get clarified. So if there were aspects of a relationship that were confusing to you, or someone has been acting in ways that were ambiguous and confusing, this week things will start to make sense. You may receive news regarding a separation or a breakup, and you will be asked to give your opinion on a matter that needs a solution. A little caution, as this card often shows there will be arguments, disagreements or fights, probably with a female, and you may even find that there's someone who's plotting behind your back. If you want to know how someone feels, they feel calm and relaxed about your connection, but at the same time aloof, because they feel torn about something. They feel attraction to you and they want to connect with you, but at the same time, they won't come out and say it. They are guarding their heart for some reason and they won't appreciate it if you get overly emotional. You need to give them the time they need to open up, otherwise they can be hurtful and withdrawn. This week there will be a mental challenge for you, a problem that you'll have to resolve, and you will resolve it easier if you remain as emotionally detached as you can. If it's a professional issue you are dealing with, staying professional is a must, and you may feel all eyes are on you or you are under scrutiny for some reason. This is a week that you'll have to draw boundaries, especially to people who are emotionally abusive. For Capricorn, we had the 9 of Wands and now it's the World. Maybe last week was a little challenging for you, too many things to do, too many demands, too many different energies, and you probably had to defend yourself somehow, to defend your point of view, your opinion or your plans, and that means there must have been someone who was opposed to your plans, someone who had a different way of doing things or a different way of thinking. 9s and 10s indicate the final stages, when things are headed to a completion, and that completion is what the World card represents. It's when things are coming to a head. The World is associated with foreign countries and with people who live in foreign countries, so it's possible that this week there will be communications, interactions with people who live abroad, or maybe you are in a long-distance relationship and there will be significant developments around that relationship. You may organize a trip or you may make plans about traveling. If you want to know how someone feels, their feelings have become more defined than before. If this person was unsure or ambiguous about their feelings, or there were second thoughts, now they are more aware of how they feel and their feelings are getting more stable as they have finally landed on a more solid base. The world astrologically is associated with Saturn, and Saturn is about the lessons we need to learn in this life, and that's why this appears to be a very significant period for you, and life-changing energies will play out, and the decisions you make at this stage will determine your future in a way that you cannot imagine. So make sure whatever you do, choose wisely and choose in a way that takes into account the lessons of the past. In around 3 weeks, 21 days from now, a very significant event will happen that will mark the beginning of a new cycle of events, and that in turn will be completed in around 3 weeks. So in approximately 6 weeks from now, there will be some very interesting energies that will play out in your life. For Aquarius, we had the Queen of Pentacles and now it's the Knight of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles is a grounding energy, a solid earth card, so whatever happened last week, you got support in your plans or you took practical steps to make something happen, either in your professional or in your personal life. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who's an earth sign or ascendant, Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn. This week with the Knight of Cups, energies are getting more romantic and more sexual. You will receive good news about a relationship and someone may come to you with an olive branch, so to speak, if there's been a fight with your partner, for instance, or in another personal relationship. This week you'll get the chance to fix things, to get things back on track. The Knight of Cups is often a helper, so if you need help with something or with someone, help will be offered to you and you shouldn't be stubborn or proud about it. You should accept the help and you should be grateful for it. So if someone gives you their help, show them your appreciation and show them that you are happy to have them in your life. The Knight of Cups is developments in love, and if things in your love life were moving slowly, the Queen of Pentacles you had is slow, now you will notice the progress is getting faster. Not too fast, mind you, Cups are still passive, but Knights are always on the move, and it's possible that you will start planning a trip or someone will come and visit you and there will be a very pleasant meeting. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they have positive and romantic feelings, they feel attracted to you, they get starry-eyed when they see you, and they will invite you to a special event, a nice romantic dinner or a weekend away, just the two of you. In any case, something nice will manifest in your love life. This week there will be significant developments in the love department, but also in your personal relationships in general, and that includes friendships and family connections. A relationship that will start this week will show its full potential in around 12 to 13 days from now. For Pisces, we had the Devil and now it's the Fool. You keep getting major arcana cards this week, Pisces, and major arcana cards show karmic events, significant events that are fated, life changes that the universe orchestrates. The Devil can be a difficult energy if you're dealing with an obsession, an addiction, or an unhealthy emotional attachment, an abusive relationship, so maybe you had to deal with energies of this kind last week. But the Devil is good if we are talking about ambitions, money, the material world in general. So depending on what you are dealing with, the Devil can be either a supportive or a negative energy. This week the Fool is the beginning, the first card of Major Arcana, and as such it shows new beginnings. It's a moment when a door opens for you and there are so many possibilities around you, so many options to choose from. Now that can be a little confusing and scary because it means that we may not be familiar with those options and you may have to take a leap of faith to feel the fear but do it anyway. This week you will get a unique opportunity to start with a clean slate, to adopt new attitudes and new ideas, and the universe will help you with that, and it will do so by manifesting new situations for you, new people to connect with, and that means you may have to leave some unhealthy situations behind you. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel very excited to have you in their life, they are very enthusiastic, they like you a lot, they feel attracted to you, but they are not fully aware of why they feel that way. Because the Fool is like a new soul, and in many cases it shows immaturity, and it shows that the situation is still immature in its very early stages. Someone may act unpredictable by doing unexpected things, or they will be confusing and you'll have to decide whether you are willing to invest the time needed for this relationship to stabilize. The Fool is associated with the planet Uranus, the planet of surprises and of awakening. So expect the unexpected this week, surprises, events that will happen out of the blue, and you may get a brilliant idea, or you will suddenly know what you need to do, and what you need to do may feel quite unusual or unconventional. The beginning of the week will have the strongest energy, and that's when you will experience the energy of this card the most. So these were the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of September the 19th to September the 25th. I hope you enjoyed them and I wish you a fantastic week. See you again next week.